What's up, everybody? Myth here, bringing you the second episode of me explaining Infinite Crisis items list. So the first episode was attack damage items. This episode is going to be power damage. And in this episode, just like the last episode, I'm going to tell you what the item does and why you should get the item, or what scenario would the item be best suited for. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this. So the first item we got is called Atlantean Royal Seal. It gives you 400 health, 60 power damage, and targets damaged by your skills lose 20% movement speed for 1.5 seconds. I feel like this item is a must on blasters, range blasters like Green Lantern and the Joker, just because it gives you health, so you get a little bit of tankiness, more survivability there, and it gives you a good amount of damage for your skills. But also because it slows, it gives you an added CC. Now CC is crowd control. Crowd control is anything that impairs the movement or the abilities of your enemy. So it stuns, slows, snares, roots, fears, taunts. Those are called CC. So this item slows down your enemy and it allows you to run away or to catch up. If you can't make kills because they're running away or they're like faster than you, you can use this item to catch up. The next item we have is called Blue Scarab. It gives you 40% attack speed and 20 power damage. It has two passives to it. One is called Charged Armor. Your basic attack steals 5 power armor for 5 seconds with a max of 5 stacks. Your second passive is Charged Attack. Your basic attacks deal bonus power damage equal to 10 plus 10% of your power damage. Let's talk about the first passive. The first passive, it steals 5 power armor from your target. So with a max of 5 stacks, if you can attack fast enough, that's 25 power damage. That's 25 power armor taken away from your enemy. Now, just because of that, you shouldn't build attack speed on Green Lantern or Joker. No. This item is for melees only, in my opinion, for Shazam and Flash only, because they're the only power damage melee characters in the game so far. Because blasters like Green Lantern and Joker shouldn't get any attack speed. They don't need it. Their job isn't to attack fast. Their job is to nuke people down with their skills. So don't get attack speed on Green Lantern and Joker. Just this item is for Flash and Shazam, in my opinion. Now let's talk about the second passive, Charged Attack. Your basic attacks deal 10 bonus power damage, but it also adds 10% of your total power damage. So this passive, it's good, but it's going to be mostly effective for the late game. You're not going to see an extra burst in your basic attacks with it in the early to mid game, because you're not going to have a lot of power damage to begin with. So this item is going to be most effective at the late game when you have your full build. The next item is Cosmic Staff. It gives you plus 60 power damage, and it also has two passives. The first one's pretty straightforward, and it gives you 15 power penetration. So if the enemies have power armor because you're doing a lot of damage, this penetration will help you pierce that armor, so you can keep doing the same amount of damage. And Disintegration, it's dealing damage from skills, applies an effect dealing 2% of the target's current health per second for 3 seconds. So this item gives you a damage over time, or DOT is the acronym for it. And this item is pretty standard on Green Lantern and Joker, just because it gives you that extra boost of damage. It's not going to be a lot, but that damage could determine a kill or them walking away with just a little bit of health. So it's pretty standard, but I wouldn't. Let's say you're behind, you got shut down, you're not as fed as you should be, or you're not as farmed as you should be. You don't have the gold that you should have at that amount of time. I wouldn't prioritize this item over something else, something either more defensive or something that gives you a little more health and something like that. So this item, I feel like you can only get it if you're ahead, or if you're doing if you're like farming or getting kills as you should. That's it. So next is Eclipso's Diamond. It has 2 tiers, and it gives you 100 power damage and 20% power lifesteal. Now, first, let me explain what lifesteal is, what power lifesteal is. Power lifesteal isn't you auto attacking with Green Lantern or Joker and getting health back. Power lifesteal is you getting lifesteal on your skills. So, Green Lantern, when you're using your safe, your anvil, whatever you want to call it, you get lifesteal from the damage that you do from dropping the safe on an enemy or a minion. That's how the blaster's lifesteals work. Attack damage characters like Gaslight Batman or Cyborg or Gaslight Catwoman, they get lifesteal with their auto attacks, not their skills. So I just wanted to clear that up if I didn't earlier, and I apologize if I didn't in the attack damage video. I just wanted to clear that up. This item is really good because it gives you a huge amount of power damage, probably the most power damage you can get from an item, and it gives you a good amount of lifesteal too. So it should be a core item for Green Lantern, Joker, maybe the Flash, and like maybe if you're going damage Ivy or damage Zatanna or something like that. Yeah, this item could work pretty well on them. Now, when I'm playing Green Lantern or the Joker, this is probably like one of my first items. It's one of my favorite items to get on these guys. It's called Fatalities Energy Lance, and it's 1500 credits. Now, 1500 credits is extremely cheap, and it's such a good item in the early game so that you can spam your skills and do a little bit more damage because it gives you 40 power damage and plus 20% cooldown reduction for 1500 credits. That is really good. I would get it early in the early game, probably one of my first items or maybe second depending on the situation. But if the game goes really late and I have my full build, and I would sell this item immediately because it wouldn't really do much. So this is a good item in the early game, not so much in the late. So just gotta choose when to get it and when's the right time to sell it. But yeah, that's it, guys. I don't want this video to get any longer. I'll make a second video of the remaining power damage items. I'm sorry that I didn't get through all of them. It's just I had to talk through a whole bunch of stuff, and I guess I talk a lot. So thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope you're learning something from this, or else what I'm doing is moot. And subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.